welcome to another Gamertech build. We are live streaming today. Thank you for tuning in, and I am here. I'm Tal, as per usual.
And I'm Frank.
I'm here with Frank, who is my trusty build partner. Although Frank today is actually going to be doing the building. Today we're going to be building an ITX build. It's going to be all white, and without the risk of sounding sexist, it's because it's for a girl.
Well, okay, so to explain, it's for my partner, and the brief was ultimately that it has to play Zoo Planet on ultra settings, and it has to look like a unicorn and light up. So that's what we're going with.
That's what we're going with. So we've got, everything is white, other than the motherboard. It's really hard to find a white ITX motherboard.
It's like unicorn poo.
Yeah, yeah. But don't worry, we've actually got plenty of unicorn poo. Everything, and I mean everything, is RGB. So
I think it's going to fit the brief.
It's, yeah, it's going to look interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to look good. We've got some really, we've got some cool components here. It's a fairly, I would say it's a fairly modest build in terms of budget. We're not going like super duper crazy. It's what I would say would be the sort of minimum decent spec.
Yeah.
Right? So minimum decent to play modern games.
Yeah.
You can certainly go cheaper.
You certainly could, I think, for Zoo Planet.
Yeah, yeah. You certainly can go cheaper, but the idea is this can run all of the games that Frank's partner wants to run, plus maybe some more. Maybe with a new gaming PC, she'll be that interested. She'll want to get into some more games.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of taken command of the build, and you know me, Tal. I like to overspec a little bit, so.
As do I, my friend. As do I. And of course, all of the customers are going to be getting overspec builds as well. Bigger power supplies than is necessary, more power than they might need, or more power than they'll be able to get from any other competitors of ours, because we want to put more PCs into the hands of gamers.
More bang for your buck. More
bang for your buck. More everything for your everything. 29 degrees at 6:30 p.m. How do you feel about that?
It's hot today.
It's really, really hot today. I feel like I have almost a sweat on already. So yeah. I'm glad you're doing the building today.
Yeah, as if you didn't know we were British already. We're talking about the weather.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. 2 minutes into the stream, and we're talking about the weather. What is wrong with us? Right. So, should we have a look at what we're building with today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wait. No, there's some housekeeping things I probably need to do. If you're watching the stream, thank you so much. Andrew, thank you. Looking forward to the build. Tal and Frank, thumbs up. Thanks a lot, Andrew. That's really awesome. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate that. If you're watching the stream now, thank you. I think it's not just be Andrew, so thank you very much.
Thanks, Andrew.
If you're watching this when we are going to put a more edited video out, then please like, subscribe, maybe try and check out the next stream that we do. Not sure where that's going to be exactly, but you know, I'm trying to build as many PCs as we can for friends and family before we launch, and obviously once we launch, we'll be building as many PCs that we sell on live stream as we can. Launch. Speaking of launch, we're hopefully going to be launching in about 3 weeks.
I'm excited to see the final build of it. I've not. You know, I haven't seen the configurator for a while, so I expect it's changed a bit.
For months, actually. Yeah. Have you? Probably 6 months?
Yeah, at least.
Oh, it looks real good. It looks real good.
But in the meantime, right, you've got something listed on Facebook Marketplace.
Yes, thank you. There's, I think, 4 PCs listed on Facebook Marketplace. I'll put the links in the live stream for anyone to have a look at. We've got a basic entry-level Intel build for about 900 quid. We have a what I would say is a mid-range build with a 4070 and on the AM5 platform for about £1,600, and then we have 2 of those actually. We've got one slightly cheaper because we've got a couple of cheaper components, and then we have the basically about the best you can get.
The Rolls Royce.
The Rolls Royce of PCs before you get to custom water cooling. It's got a really, really nice Corsair AIO, really with 360 rad AIO. It's absolutely beautiful. It looks stunning. Yeah, the only way you could make this PC better is by doing some custom water cooling, which we're going to be doing, by the way. So we've got EK kits that we're going to be using, water cooling builds. So I'm really excited about that.
Is that a brand, EK, or is that?
EK is probably the finest brand in water cooling.
All right.
So yes, and that one I think is up on sale for about £3,800. But we're talking, you know, an AMD 7950X. We're talking an Nvidia 4090. We're talking
right,
64 gigabytes of RAM, 4 terabytes of very, very fast storage, and it also looks brilliant. It's in the Corsair 5000X RGB, which is a beautiful case with glass all around, glass top, both sides and front. It looks stunning.
Very nice.
And the airflow is still really good despite it being glass, because it's got channels where all the air goes. Really, really nice. I really love that case. Oh, it's the case we used in our last build.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Please like and subscribe, all that usual stuff. Please check out Facebook Marketplace. That will be in the comments. No, sorry, not in the comments. In the doobly what's it below. Yeah, the description. And do you know what else I'm excited about?
What's that?
Building this computer.
Yeah. All right.
So let's have a look and see what we've got. So, motherboard.
So talking about cooling, it's probably worth mentioning that this is an ITX build.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that stand for? I mean, I know it means it's a small box. Does it have any particular name attributed to the acronym, or?
Now you're asking questions. What does ITX stand for? I don't know.
Okay. All right.
What does it stand for? Does anyone know? Anyone in the comments? What does ITX stand for? Let's look it up. I actually don't know. Information Technology Extended.
Okay.
That does
doesn't
not
really
sound
seem to fit.
like it should be.
No.
It doesn't fit. Yes.
Apparently that's it.
Yeah. ATX is Advanced Technology Extended.
I mean, it's easier to say big and small.
Yeah. It's no wonder they remain acronyms.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, well, I learned something new today. Thank you very much, Frank. Try not to ask any more questions. I don't really answer for, if you don't mind.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right, so let's have a look at some of these components. We're starting off with the motherboard, which, well, you know what, Frank? You're hosting today, so have a look at this. Right?
Okay.
Tell me what you think, and I'll tell you just for the box at the moment. We'll just do a little bit of looking at the box, and then ask some questions, or I'll tell you some things on what it does and why we chose that one.
Well, I can see two reasons.
Yep.
Number one,
it's got RGB.
yeah. And number two, it's small.
Yes.
So why the Aorus over other things?
Okay, well, so Aorus is Gigabyte's kind of higher-end gaming brand, so you'll find most of the advanced features like that in the Aorus brand. And really the reason why we went for this board is that one of the main things is that it has Q-Flash, or Q-Flash Plus, I think is what it's called. Basically, it means that you can flash the motherboard's BIOS without having to even put any of the components into the motherboard.
Oh,
you
wow.
literally just put some power into the CPU sockets. You put the power into the 24-pin motherboard socket, and then you take your CD flash thingy. What do you call those things?
USB drive.
USB drive.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Put it into the relevant port on the back that says BIOS. And then you press the BIOS flashback, and it goes through some lights. It does some, shows it is doing some things, and then after about 2 or 3 minutes, the lights will finish, and that means it's finished. It's flashed the motherboard, the BIOS on the motherboard. So the reason for that is sometimes you'll get some motherboards will be, manufactured, and they'll have BIOS version 2, right? But then later, CPUs will come out, so. Because they're constantly making new CPUs for the same platform. So this is AM4 platform. This is actually the previous platform.
Right.
And we went for AM4 really to just keep costs down. So they'll make a new AM4 CPU, but because it would have come out quite a lot long after the motherboard was manufactured, then the BIOS that it needs to run with that CPU is now, it's later. It's not on the board. So in fact, if you try to put, a late stage AM4 CPU onto one of the first motherboards that came out on AM4, it just won't work because it doesn't have the right BIOS. It doesn't understand what you put in there. So you have to be able to flash it. Without having something like BIOS flashback, you can't do that. Plus, we just have more PCI lanes, we have more USB connectivity, it looks nicer, it's got better thermals. There's lots of reasons why, really, but good solid board. It's just it's probably the mid-entry Aorus board.
Great.
And what we're putting in it, which you can see over there, I'm going to hold that up to the viewers, is the 5600X, which is again AM4 platform. It's entry level. It's entry level of the performance range. You can get lower end CPUs than that, but this is entry for what I would say you would want for a proper gaming build.
That's good. It's good that we're making a proper PC.
It is a proper PC. It's going to be a really proper PC. Yeah. Do you want to pick up some other stuff and have a look?
Yeah, no problem.
What else have we got? We've got the power supply.
Yeah, 750 watts, and that'll be enough for everything that we're putting in.
You know what? That's more than plenty that we're putting in. The eagle-eyed of you might see the graphics card over there, which is the 4060, and you only, I think, need about 550 watts. It might be 600. I'll have to look, but we're over-speccing on the power supply just for future-proofing, basically.
Yeah.
If your partner wanted to put a better graphics card in later, you'd be able to go up a couple of tiers, 1 or 2 tiers to the 4070 at least. Probably not the 4080, maybe one of the AMD cards.
So is this a double slot or a triple slot?
I think it's just a double slot, but it's a triple cooler. It's really nice, good, solid card. The 4060 is, to be completely honest, it's not my favourite in the new 4000 series lineup from NVIDIA. I think the sweet spot in terms of value is the 4070, but the 4070 does cost quite a lot more.
Yeah, so there is a jump, but
you
get your value for that jump.
Yeah, you do, right? It's always been that the lower end of the market has been the best value proposition, but since I don't know, probably the last 3-5 years, that's kind of turned on its tail, and now we're seeing that the upper end of the hierarchy is better value, which kind of sucks because when I say value, I mean like frames per
pound.
dollar.
Yeah, per dollar per pound.
But it was always so that it was for the entry level, and that just isn't the case anymore.
I mean, the market has changed a lot in the last couple of years. I mean, there was the
you're still.
There was the big mining rush a couple of years back, and that probably affected the way in which the graphics card companies were kind of addressing the market. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What those actual impacts were, I don't have the acumen for.
Well, no, I think probably you're right. I think that the mining situation, cryptocurrency, definitely affected the landscape of the GPU market. And unfortunately, you remember, you did some crypto mining.
Yeah.
As did I. And you remember how hard graphics cards were to get back then.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we're in for GPU shortage 2.0 with AI. Yeah, I think the same thing is going to happen again. I think that's really unfortunate, but what can you do?
It is what it is. People are going to use these products for what they want.
Yeah. What have we got next? We got.
Okay, I think we can put this and this and also this in the same category, which is RGB. It's just
lots of RGB,
lots of lights.
So we've got some fans. These are some really nice fans. So we'll show you in a second, but we've gone for a Lian-Li case. We're also going for some Lian-Li fans as well. These are the uni fans. We've got a couple of the 140s which go, I believe, on the top, and then we've got a 120 that goes on the rear.
Great.
strange configuration in this case. It doesn't have any fans on the front, which is not very common, but you know, there it is. And then this is our cooler, which is just a low profile. I think this is going to be sufficient cooling.
Sure. We'll soon find out.
We'll find out. You know what? I'm fairly certain this will be sufficient for what the CPU we're using and you know, the airflow that we'll have.
Yeah.
If not, we could swap it out for something a bit bigger. But we're a little bit CPU cooler height.
We pushed to space. Yeah.
We don't have a lot of space. I think we have 6.3 centimeters. But yeah, we'll have to see.
Well, we'll find out. And then finally, we've got some RGB RAM as well. The Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro SL. And
right.
Why this RAM, Tal?
Well, it's white. And it's got RGB on it.
Fits the bill.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
there we
basically,
go.
what we looked at is what kits were white, what kits had RGB, and then we just looked at the best value from there to see, you know, what we can get in terms of specs. So we've got 32 gigs, and I believe it's 3600 mega transfers. Is that right?
3600 megahertz, right there on the box.
And then we've got some storage.
Cheap and cheerful.
It's just cheap and cheerful. It's a Kingston NV2 1 terabyte SSD.
Yeah.
And that's it. So let's have a look at the chat. We've got some more questions. Andrew, thank you for your question again. If I order a PC and you get Frank to build it, will I get a discount? Sound is okay, our end. Thank you for the sound check, Andrew.
Love it.
Now, Andrew has been my friend for 25 years.
And no longer.
So, Andrew, I can say without a doubt, absolutely no, you will get no discount. My God. Come on. No, of course you will. Right. Speaking of, well, not discount exactly, but we're going to be giving away, and hopefully this will be enough for your discount needs, Andrew. We're going to be giving away a Razer gaming mouse with each new PC purchase when we launch, which is it's worth about £100.
Fair enough.
Really nice mouse. I mean, I literally have one that I use as my gaming mouse, and I have used it for many years. It's the Death Adder, and I think it's the version 3 Pro. It's about 100 quid.
They're hardy things, aren't they?
It's about as good as you can get as a mouse, in a gaming mouse. So anyone, when we launch in a few weeks' time, anyone that buys a PC with us for until stocks last, you will get a free £100 Razer gaming mouse. And also, just a reminder to anyone that's looking at our socials, which are gamertech.org, which is gamertech DOTORG, all one word. If you share any of our posts up until launch, any of the posts at all, any of our lifetime posts on those socials, any of the socials, which is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and
even LinkedIn.
If you share any of those with your friends and audience, you'll be given one entry to win in a giveaway raffle to win one of a few prizes. We've got a CPU, we've got a case, and we've got an SSD. So I really appreciate that if any of you would be able to share those, help to spread the name before we launch in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
Right.
Should we have a look at the case?
Let's have a quick look at the case. In fact, you know what? Let's just take the case out and just start looking and just start building. Lian-Li Q58 ITX case. I think this is the best ITX case on the market.
It is quite pretty, to be fair.
It's really nice. It's really nice, and I love. You're going to see later, guys, the modular way that you can use either the mesh or the glass. You can have half mesh, half glass, full mesh on one side, full glass on the other side. It's really nice.
That was a big factor in the decision to go with this case.
Back over there for a moment, and I'll fix that for you.
Lovely. Yeah, that was a big factor in the decision to go for this case because it's going to be. The idea is it's going to be placed sideways underneath kind of an entertainment area, and so what I wanted was for the glass to be fully on one side.
Just hold one side.
Yeah. So that you could see all of the RGB inside. Oh, I see. There we go. There you go. Right. How many people does it take to get a case out? polystyrene.
Hold on, let me just pull this out and we can just get rid of the whole lot. Right.
Wow!
Is that bigger or smaller than you thought it was going to be?
It's smaller, I think. Yeah, it's smaller than I thought. Huh.
So
it's very neat.
let's just have a look at this. So what we've got here, Frank, is so what it does is it divides the case. It divides the case up into two segments, right, or two sectors. You've got the front where we'll have the. Sorry, I put it this way. You've got the front where we'll have the GPU, which will be mounted vertically. And I think that's everything that goes on this side, actually. And then on the rear, we'll have our little ITX motherboard. I hope I'm pointing at this right place. Yes, I think so, yeah. And then our little SFX power supply down here. That's really it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a neat little thing, isn't it?
It is a neat little thing. It's really nicely finished. It's got a really nice finish to it. It's very light, but it's also sturdy. And this is what I love about Lian-Li. I mean, you know me, Frank, right? how long have you known me, and how many times have I talked about Lian-Li cases in our time together?
It's getting on for a decade, and I think you probably mentioned one within about a week.
I love Lian-Li cases. We're not sponsored. God, not sponsored by anyone. I wish we could be sponsored by Lian-Li. Lian-Li, if you want to sponsor us, please get in touch. I love your cases. I've had a Lian-Li case for probably 20 years.
Yeah. I know you're not a manual kind of guy in general, but I think we may need it on this occasion.
Do you reckon?
Well, I mean, there's brackets and all sorts of things going on here.
I'm not opposed to looking at the manual.
It's just not top of your list.
Well, I just don't usually need to, Frank. This is what I do for a job.
Fair enough.
You know? Come on. What I don't do for a job, or what I shouldn't do for a job, is streaming. Don't worry, we'll read out any comments that we get from any viewers. There were 4 people watching. My gosh, thank you so much to everyone that's watching. I think one of them is still Andrew. Thanks, Andrew, you're the best. And to anyone else, if I know you, I probably love you. If I don't, well, I probably still love you. What we're going to need first is the motherboard, please.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna relax now. Yeah. So, yeah.
Grand.
Take it away, Frank.
All right.
So we're basically done.
The deal's not sealed until it's peeled.
Good one.
Looking pretty sharp, you know.
It's looking good. All right, everything is looking great.
Good.
So yeah, we've got a post. Everything is looking really nice. Let's turn it round so we can see the other side.
I don't think it shows up very well on with the overhead light, but
No.
you've got the RGB from the RAM and from the CPU cooler there, which actually shows up quite nicely compared to the GPU.
Yes. So I think this side is going to be the display side, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the case, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
But hey, it worked, which is a miracle, and you know, okay, we'll find a place to hide the controller.
Yeah, ITX builds just take a little bit more TLC to get the cables looking nicely. And this is what I love about this case, is you can choose which side you want to be displaying, or you could have it half and half, and you can, you know, just put the cables kind of at the top half and have the display on, you know, have the thing on the bottom half. Yeah. So it's up to you, really. It's just whatever's going to look best.
And you know what? It's really easy to change the sides as well. So
yes. Oh, you know what? There's one thing that I really enjoyed about this. Definitely is the case. The case is just, it's just delightful. The nice little features. The fan on the bottom, the allowing us to put the fan in from the bottom, allowing us to put the fans in from the top.
Yeah.
It might be small, but it actually feels fairly spacious if there wasn't so many cables in there.
I mean, yeah, particularly given the size of the GPU. I mean, you could fit a 3090 in there, which I think you could. I would put money on being able to put a 3090 in there.
You might be able to. You could definitely fit something bigger in here. So a 4070 will fit, a 4080, maybe a 3090, maybe. I'm not sure about a 4090. Definitely not.
Probably not a 4090. No. I mean,
right.
You
So
need a bigger desk.
I think that's it for tonight. I think what we'll do is we'll finish the stream here, and then we'll just finish off the little TLC bits
snagging
off camera, because to be honest, I don't think there's anything more interesting for you guys to see. Well done, Frank.
Hey, well, thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you very much, my friend. It was good guidance.
You did really well,
and
you haven't built in a case like this before, and you did fantastically. So really, you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
You know what? I was actually surprised. I mean, I was grabbing for the manual when we got the box out, but actually it wasn't necessary. No. And you were absolutely right on that front.
Cases like this, they might look a bit at the beginning, but you just have to dig around a bit.
And it's like riding a bike, right? PC building comes back to you. Yeah. This just happens to be a tiny clown bicycle.
Yeah. Good looking one.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, we'll finish here. Thanks again, Frank.
Thank you, Tal.
Thank you again to everyone that watched. Don't forget, for until stocks last, all new builds will come with a £100 Razer Pro V3, I believe, gaming mouse.
£100 value, not £100 in weight.
£100 value, £100 note value, sterling. And also, please like and share, specifically share any of our socials, so that you'll be in a chance for winning either CPU, a good one. I think it'll be a 7600 or a 7600X worth a couple of £100, a case worth about £80, and an SSD worth about £50 or £60. So with that, thank you so much again to everyone. Thank you, Frank, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.